Welcome back to Jay Tendencies. I am your host, Jay Suave.
And I am Jreese.
Look at the smile on this man's face, bro. Y'all, y'all see the jersey on this man. Let's not
Who this
even get
is?
past it. Jade might have had the best Sunday of his life, at least from
The-
5 years ago, or
Hey,
was go at least from 8 years ago. I mean,
hey,
best
this
Sunday in 8 years.
nope. This is the best Sunday of my life. Okay, better than the one 8 years ago. This one I remember vividly. You know what I'm saying? The thing I remember vividly from the last Super Bowl was Philly was Zach Ertz touchdown and then the Brandon Graham sack. This one I remember every inch of that belt to ass whooping we done gave the Chiefs. Just boom, boom, boom. You look up Patrick Mahomes highlights on from the Super Bowl on YouTube. Then the first highlight comes in the third quarter with 2 minutes left. Like, come on now. We had them boys in hell. Feeling great. I feel fantastic right now, brother.
That's crazy. Where what you gotta say to the people who are hating on Hurts?
Hey, I told you I'll stop playing with my boy. I told you it was gonna happen. Super Bowl MVP, you know what I'm saying? Better than, hey, I'm starting my narratives now, and no one can stop me. I can say he's better than
Oh my
Prime Russ,
goodness.
you know what I'm saying? Russ has a ring. Hey, does Russ have a Super Bowl MVP? I didn't think so. Better than Prime Cam, you know what I'm saying?
All
Who won
right,
this? Who won? Who,
no,
hey,
no,
who won
no,
this?
no,
Who won
no,
that Super Bowl? Who got a Super Bowl MVP?
no,
You know what I'm saying?
bro.
Super Bowl MVP or regular season MVP? I'm taking the Super Bowl MVP. You know what I'm saying? I told you, my narratives start now. You know what I'm saying? No one can stop me.
That narrative is just wrong.
Nope. Nope.
Like
For all I
what?
know, for all I'm concerned, on the GOAT conversation, it goes Tom Brady, then Jalen Hurts. Then,
What?
then it's a steep fall off from there.
What are we doing, bro? Is this how
Hey,
every Philly fan is thinking right now?
who's gonna stop me? Who's gonna stop me?
Patrick Mahomes next year, maybe.
Nope.
They're coming back for
Hey,
vengeance, bro. Trust.
two Super Bowl performances between these two, and Jalen Hurts has outperformed him in both of them. All I gotta say is, Jalen Hurts, the GOAT. But
Hey, bro.
let's speak of the GOAT conversation
But
now, bro.
last time Mahomes won that Super Bowl MVP. So like,
Hey, you know why? Because of James Bradbury.
so
Hey,
like, hey.
shout out James Bradbury though, Super Bowl champ. And that 4 to 6 week injury in the preseason turned into not suiting up the entire year. Hey, but look, it worked out. Got himself a ring. Who's over there coaching up the youngins? You know what I'm saying? Can't be mad at him. No, I'm ecstatic. I'm happy. Jalen Hurts got a ring. Devontae Smith, my favorite receiver, got a ring. You know what I'm saying? It's just good energy over here. You know what I'm saying? Nothing's gonna bring me down. Nothing can bring me
Jay,
down right now.
this is the real question. Are we gonna see you in Philly on Friday?
Look, I was looking at the what's it called? The plane tickets. The plane tickets were mad expensive. And then think about it. I have a part-time job. I'm in school. You know what I'm saying? I got money. Hey, don't worry, I'll be there next year when we run it back. You know what I'm saying? But this year, you're not gonna see me. I wish I was there climbing the street lamps, everything like that, the light poles. But can't happen this time. I'll be tuned in though. I don't have work that day, so I'm gonna be tuning into the live streams. No, that
Speaking
that
speaking of that, I actually saw this video yesterday. It was a bunch of Eagles fans lined up and did the tush push in front of the cops. And like they were
I saw
like
that
trying to
too.
run through the cops, bro. I was crying laughing.
Bro,
It was
hey, people
funny.
wanna. The memes are funny though. Like Philadelphia, if the Eagles lose, the city destroyed. Philadelphia, if the Eagles win, the city's still destroyed. Those are some funny memes. But look, I want y'all to stop hating on my Philadelphia fans. You know what I'm saying? Y'all over there looking at all the bad stuff that happens. So do you not look at the good stuff? There's that dude in the wheelchair. They done lifted him in his wheelchair. He was crowd surfing on top of the crowd, seeing everything going on in Broad Street. You know what I'm saying? That's the kind of side of Philly y'all don't see. But
Maybe because there's a
don't get us
lot more
twisted.
bad.
There's a lot more good than bad. There's a lot more good than bad.
I
I see a lot more
guarantee
bad from
not.
other teams. I
I
guarantee.
see a lot more bad, bro. There
Mm-mm.
just be stores
Nope.
broken into, glass
Nope.
broken.
Nope.
Of course, you're
I
gonna see
think
more good from Philly fans because that's what they're gonna post. Of course, you'd see bad stuff from people who aren't on the team
the worst
or
fans
like
I see
fans
are
of
from
the team.
Jacksonville.
They have fans.
Yep. The few fans they have are criminals.
I didn't know they had fans. I didn't know Jacksonville and like Indianapolis had fans, to be honest. But I don't
Okay,
even know why I'm talking. They
hey,
have
don't
Panthers
talk mess
fans.
about what's it called about Indianapolis. Indianapolis, they were blessed for the longest time with Peyton Manning and Andrew Luck.
Yeah, but like that was also 10 years ago. So who cares?
Andrew Luck was like 5 years ago,
When did Andrew
wasn't
Luck
it?
retire? There was no way he retired in 2020.
No, it
Maybe
was like
like
20, like
2018.
yeah, 2018. So 7 years ago, not too long.
7 years ago. Same thing, bro.
But how long you say ago? I don't care. It don't matter to me because all that
Exactly.
matters right now is the Eagles are up. Jalen Hurts Super Bowl MVP. My king went to Disney World,
That's all that mattered to you for real.
riding them roller coasters like this,
Now,
unfazed, locked in.
now that the season's over, I got one question for you. What was your favorite Jalen Hurts quote of the year?
Mm. The one that pops in my mind every time is this is what y'all wanted to see. After all that trash talking about he can't throw the ball, right after the Steelers game, his chain, the diamonds were dancing. It was just that, and then that set the tone. You know what I'm saying? Jalen Hurts, he doesn't have to do much. No, this is what y'all wanted to see. You wanted to see him throw that ball. He gonna throw that ball. Y'all said the Chiefs said, "Hey, we want to stop Saquon Barkley, make Jalen Hurts hurt us with his arm." Like he didn't do that last time, and you know what? He did it again. Super Bowl MVP. You know what I'm saying? Better than Lamar, better than Josh Allen, better than Burrow. Hey, all I'm knowing is going into the season, Jalen Hurts number one, best player in the league.
That is a narrative.
My
That is a
narratives, look,
narrative you can push.
no one can stop my narratives. You know what I'm saying? I can talk my ish this off season with no repercussions. Maybe a little repercussions, but we don't worry about those.
But yeah, I even wanted to talk about this a little bit. So like we saw the game. We saw y'all in the beginning of the season. Started off 2-2. We L's to the Falcons, L's to the Bucks, but they kind of got brought together in the end of the year. Went on a run and went on one of the greatest playoff runs we've honestly ever seen. I mean, 154 points scored in a playoff run is really impressive.
Was it 154 or 145?
Either
I think it was.
or, it
It
it's
doesn't.
still
All
the
that matters
it's
is
still the
dominant. Yeah,
most
yeah.
in it's still the most in playoff history.
hmm
So, no bias. Do you think this is one of like the greatest Super Bowl teams, at least in the last 10 years? I'll say.
I'll I'll say that for sure because like you said, we were just dominant. We had put up the most points in a NFC championship in NFL history. Then we go out, put 40 points up against a team looking to three-peat that everybody was saying were the favorites to win the Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? Because they had Patrick Mahomes. And don't let Patrick Mahomes stats fool you. You know, he did not play well at all. His first touchdown came at was it the end of the third quarter, and then it was really all three garbage time touchdowns and 200 garbage time yards. You know, he really had 50 yards with two interceptions and a fumble. But like that's one of the best quarterbacks in the league, and we dominated against him. You know what I'm saying? 6 sacks without sending a single pressure. That's just a testament to coaching. You feel me? Vic Fangio ran out. He was ran out of Miami because players said he was too hard. He was too old school. He was too difficult to work with. Comes to Philly, the culture loves Vic Fangio, right? His culture just resonated with the team. They were looking for someone to be hard on them, especially after what happened last season and how bad that defense was then. Then you have, an offense, Kellen Moore. People said he was not a good offensive coordinator. I had my doubts throughout the entire season until the NFC Championship, and I was like, okay, this is what you've been holding back from the whole season. And then I still have my reservations during the Super Bowl because he was taking those interviews, but this team was looking to prove people wrong. You know, the closest game that they had all postseason was against the Rams, and it was really because they took their foot off the gas at the very end. You know what I'm saying? Because they were up by two touchdowns with 4 minutes left in the game, and then there was no reason why the Rams should have got the ball back for real, but they did. So I think this is one of the best teams in NFL history. I don't know. I gotta look through all the teams again because, like, right now, off the top of my head, I'll be like, yeah, this is the best team. But like, that's the bias coming in. So if I look through all the teams, I'll probably say it's top five, top 10. But I have to look through all the teams again. Like I said, yeah.
Yeah, I think that is definitely up there. Just out of all the teams that have won in the past 10 years, I mean, I think the most dominant one that has won besides Philly was probably like the 2015 Broncos,
hmm
and they didn't even play that well in the Super Bowl. It's just the Panthers played bad, and I mean, obviously. I think
That
2017
that
Philly could
what's
be
it
up
called?
there.
That Seahawks team was it 2013?
It was like about in the
2013
last 10
Seahawks.
years.
Oh yeah, that I'm tripping. I be forgetting what year
Yeah.
it is every time, bro. It's like
Yeah.
right
So
outside.
I think another one could have been I lost my check of thought. But who was right after them? I mean, I know the Patriots won a little, but like I know the 2017 Eagles was a
The
pretty good one
2020
that
Bucks,
yeah,
the
that was a
2021
good
Bucks, yeah.
team. That was a dominant team. But even though everyone knew that like they were going to win the Super Bowl that year, it was
Hmm.
like people low key wanted Patrick to win that year though. But he just got blown
Yeah.
out.
That
Per
was
usual
before what's it
now.
called? Yeah. That was before everybody's rooting against Patrick, you know.
Yeah.
But
But
do you think this loss like solidifies Tom Brady as the GOAT and like he can't be touched now? Just
no.
because the way he lost. I feel like
No.
if you look at the way he lost and how he's played in both those losses, I think because whenever Tom Brady played in the Super Bowl, his games were always pretty close. You know, they were always able to keep it close. So, I think the point differential for Tom Brady in his losses was like 15 points total. And then now this is Patrick Mahomes getting blown out twice. You know, he didn't play well in either Super Bowls that he had lost. And the first one you could obviously blame that offensive line. But this one was, I say it's more on him than just the offensive line. Yes, he was running for his life. Yes, he was sacked 6 times, but he wasn't helping the team at all. You know, he was throwing crossbody interceptions for no reason. He was turning the ball over. He was loose with the ball. You know, like, I think you look at the stats. It was Tom Brady in his entire Super Bowl history has thrown 6 interceptions. In was it? I think it was in how was it? Five Super Bowls Patrick Mahomes has been to, right? Five Super Bowls. He's already passed Tom Brady in his 10 that he's been to with seven
Yeah.
interceptions compared to Tom Brady's six. So I feel like if you look at the stats like that, I feel like you look at Tom Brady, yeah, like Tom Brady right now is definitely the GOAT. I really don't see, even if Patrick Mahomes catches up with the rings, if you just look at the playoff performances, Patrick Mahomes always has that blunder early in the game. But Tom Brady, you know, aside from the aside from a couple Super Bowls, he's really played exceptional through every Super Bowl. You know, the only one, even the ones he lost, you know, against the Giants, he played really well. It was just a really close, hard-fought game. The only game he really didn't play well in, at least to start the game, was the Rams and the Falcons one. And the Falcons, you know, that's why I was holding my breath a little bit because I was like, if Patrick Mahomes in that GOAT conversation, then what if this is his Atlanta Falcons Patriots kind of
Yeah.
story? Was holding my breath until like 3 minutes left in the fourth quarter. But I was like, it would have this is that moment, but it just wasn't because Tom Brady was able to exceed in those situations, and I feel like this team, the Kansas City team, was better than a lot of those Tom Brady Patriots teams that he was able to win with. So, I just feel like if you look at everything like that combined, I feel like Tom Brady. I feel like he just this loss in the dominating way that Philadelphia had won this game. This puts an extra boost on Tom Brady, like compared to Patrick Mahomes in in the GOAT conversation.
Yeah. I'll say this. I don't necessarily think that it should stain Patrick Mahomes' legacy in these Super Bowls because, like, you think about it, their first five Super Bowls, they're both 3-2 in it, and you can say that they got their butts kicked both times. And the first time, Mitchell Schwartz like literally sold the whole game for him. I mean,
Hmm.
Patrick Mahomes is throwing touchdowns to Tyreek Hill, and Tyreek Hill is going through his hands in the end zone. Like the first time, I truly don't even think that it was Patrick Mahomes' fault. This game, I think that it was, but I also think that this Philly team was probably the most dominant team we've seen in a minute that's won a Super Bowl. And I understand that like Tom Brady, I think Tom Brady is the GOAT, but like Mahomes
Hmm.
could go out there and win it all next year, and these all these conversations are back. You know,
Hmm. Yeah, I feel you.
like, and people just kind of want to like put that conversation to rest. Now Mahomes is only 29.
Hmm.
Brady won his like fourth Super Bowl at 37. You know, or fifth Super Bowl at
Hmm.
37 because
Hmm.
he got his last
Yeah,
one whenever he was what 44, 45, somewhere near there.
something like that. I think it was like
I just know.
42.
I just
Was
know
he?
his last year in the league, he was 45. So he was probably 42, 43
Mm-hmm.
whenever he won his seventh ring.
Yeah.
But this just like, this means to me that Mahomes has time.
Mm-hmm.
And I understand like Brady would have won one if dude didn't catch it off his helmet or
Mm-hmm.
anything. But I just think it shouldn't stain his legacy at all because Patrick Mahomes is obviously one of the greats that we've seen, like the greatest we've seen since Tom Brady retired. You
Mm-hmm.
feel me? And obviously, like Tom Brady played 20 years in the league. Mahomes has only started 7 seasons, made it to the AFC Championship in 7 seasons, won 3 Super Bowls in those seasons, and it's
Mm-hmm.
like everyone wants to like rush greatness, you know?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I don't think it should necessarily be stained, but greatness is definitely a virtue of time.
Mm-hmm.
I'll say.
Hey, you think Kelsey's gonna retire after the loss, or do you think he
I hope.
should?
I hope so.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't see the reason to stay, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
Because like I
I
mean,
agree.
like I know you lost and everything. Like you
Mm-hmm.
think you can go back, but you. I feel like every time I hear about Kelsey, he's not like injured, but it's always like something like that's tweaking with his body.
And
And
we've seen this decline over the last year too.
yeah,
So.
we've all seen the decline.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he just needs to go ahead and take him and Taylor Swift and take the podcast and just make money off that. He'll probably become an analyst, to be honest.
I don't think so. He's gonna become an actor. He's already in Happy Gilmore. He has a game show now on I
Oh
think on
yeah,
Amazon. And so he's definitely going down the actor route. But
yeah,
yeah, I think he's already set up his career to move on from football. It's rather if he still wants to play, which he says he still can, which I think he still could. But you know, he's at this point of his career, he's not getting the same separation as he was 2 years ago. He's never been a great blocker. So at this point, you're just taking up space on the field that could go to Noah Gray, and Noah Gray could develop a little bit more, out of your shadow. And you're just taking targets away from some of those other guys like Xavier Worthy or Rashee Rice, even though Rashee Rice was hurt this year. So you're just
yeah,
really just taking up space, and it's gonna cause more problems if you keep going forward than if you go ahead and retire. Like you've had a great career, you have all those postseason records. You're one of the best tight ends in the game of football. You and Gronk are 1 and 2. And Gronk even said during the Super Bowl that you were better than him. You're a better tight end than him. Broke all his records, everything like that. So if you retire now, even after a loss, there's no shame in retiring. You know what I'm saying? You've had a great career. So I think it's time because I think if you continue to go forward, I just think the decline's gonna get even worse because it was a pretty steep decline from last season to this season too.
yeah.
So I just think it's about time you hang it up before it gets even worse.
I feel you. And just another topic on the Super Bowl. I know we've liked this guy since he got drafted back in 21, but Devonte Smith, his
Ooh.
resume is insane now.
Insane.
And I'm gonna just go ahead and read off everything because I've been watching this dude since he got the game winning touchdown whenever Tua was a freshman in college.
Hmm.
So we have Heisman winner,
Dog.
Bolitnikoff winner,
Dog.
Maxwell winner,
Dog.
SEC Offensive Player of the Year,
Dog.
two-time national champ,
Two-time dog.
game-winning catch in the national championship, SEC all-time receiving touchdown record, went top 10 in the draft, Eagles all-time postseason receiving yards leader, and now a Super Bowl champ. What does that mean to you, him being your favorite receiver on the team, Jake?
Bro, he was not like before. He wasn't even my favorite receiver on the team. He was my favorite receiver in the league. I remember the first time because I didn't watch a lot of college football, but I remember the first game I watched of him was the national championship with Mac Jones, and that's the one where he won the MVP of that game. Because he played exceptional. He didn't even play the first second half. He had like 200 some yards, like 2, 3 touchdowns. It was like insane, right?
Yeah,
And like. I'm just so proud of him, you know what I'm saying? I'm so glad that he's an Eagle, and I am very positive he will be an Eagle for life. And that's just a testament to his work effort. growing up, he was not never the biggest. He was 120 as a freshman, I think, in high school. Um, like that was way more. That was more than I weighed still, but it was like that's very light. You know what I'm saying? And he was just able to work through all the doubts. The fact that he had just one Heisman and he fell all the way to 10. And was he was the third receiver taken, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah.
Because Jamar and Jalen Waddle were both taken over him. Like the people just doubt him because of his size, and I'm so glad to see him not only win the Super Bowl, but being the most intriguable part of our passing game. You know, other than Jalen Hurts, obviously, he had 4 receptions, 69 yards, and a touchdown. The 46-yard touchdown, which was the dagger to end the game, pretty much. So it was just great to see. You know, I have a Devontae Smith jersey on while watching the game, so I was excited. You know. I don't lose in my Devontae Smith jersey. Devontae Smith just doesn't lose. Devontae Smith is a proven winner. And I'm glad we have a bunch of players like that on our team.
Yeah, and I think to this day, the Devontae's still overlooked. I mean, I thought over the last ever since he's came out of college, I think he's been the best player to even come out of there. Like,
Hmm.
that's crazy because you got guys like Derrick Henry, you got Mark Ingram, you got Julio, you got
Hmm.
DT. Like, there are a lot of dogs coming out of Bama, and being a two-time consistent national champion, SEC all-time receiving yards, like, it's just crazy to see. And him falling to 10, like you said, because of his size, like his resume don't say too small. Like
Hmm.
now he has everything in the book, damn near.
Hmm.
And
Oh,
I'm definitely proud, even though he literally killed my team in the national championship. But he's always been one of my favorite receivers in the league for sure. And I never really understood like the um the whole him versus Waddle thing. Whenever Miami fans were trying to justify, like
hmm.
we know Devontae's always been better.
Hmm. I'm saying like I never got that conversation either. Like Jalen Waddle, I'll say he's faster, but Devontae Smith is still super fast. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like there was no real conversation to have about it. You know.
Yeah, I feel you. But congratulations to the Philadelphia Eagles for winning that Super Bowl. A lot of records broke, and it all ended off with a win, with the title, with the trophy. But
We'll see y'all next year. You know what I'm saying? We'll be back. Don't get me wrong. We're gonna be back next year. You heard, hey, you heard Saquon. He said, "Why don't we start a dynasty of our own?" You know what I'm saying? Why not? Why not?
I wouldn't be able to stand y'all. But Bryce is coming, bro. Bryce is pulling up, bro. Trust.
He's definitely going be in the league.
Yeah, is one of the best, obviously.
He will be there in the league.
Also, now you hating, bro. Now you hating.
I'm-
That's crazy work.
Hey, my narrative start now.
My narrative is gonna start whenever Bryce Young make the
Hey,
playoffs next year, bro.
top five receivers in the league: AJ Brown, Devontae Smith, Jahan Dotson, Jettas, and then
Jamar Chase.
Jamar. That's what it is.
But yeah. We're gonna go ahead and switch over to NBA. And if you watched the episode last week, I know guys, like literally the two main things I talked about were both wrong. The Bucks did trade for Kuzma, even though I still think that it's a bad idea. And
Bad
here,
hoops.
it was terrible hoops. And this what happened around like a week ago. It was Kyle Kuzma, Jericho Sims, 2025 second round pick, and 2026 second round pick. And the Wizards received Chris Middleton, AJ Johnson. I think AJ Johnson's a dog. I think the Wizards got a dog in him. And a 2028 first round pick swap. And the Knicks and the Spurs got stuff, but like it's all like cash considerations and DeLon Wright and Patrick Baldwin. So like who really cares? And then my other one, I didn't know if you were like too happy about this one because like I know you were sick that Jimmy left, but like at the same time, y'all got some dogs though.
Oh yeah, I like
So
that return.
yeah, so the Warriors received Jimmy Butler, two second round picks, and cash consideration. Now the Heat acquired Andrew Wiggins, Kyle Anderson, and Davion Mitchell, and a 2025 protected first round pick from the Warriors. And this was a five-team trade. I'm gonna go ahead and just spill what everyone got. Now the Jazz, Josh Richardson, KJ Martin, 2028 second round pick, 2031 second round pick. Saying 2031 doesn't even sound right, bro. But in cash considerations. Then Pistons, Lindy Waters, and Dennis Schroeder. Dennis Schroeder has been getting passed around the league. It has
Bro,
been
Dennis Schroeder is the second player to be complete the NBA rainbow.
for real.
So yeah, him and Shaq, the only two.
That's so crazy, bro. And the Raptors received PJ Tucker, 2026 second round pick, in cash consideration. So this was a four team deal. I'm sorry, but this was still. I don't think I was like too surprised because
Mm-hmm.
I knew I said Jimmy wasn't gonna get traded, but looking back on it, I'm like Warriors really made sense because the Warriors were
Hmm.
trying to get everybody. Like I said last week, they were desperate. You know?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm like, I was surprised. Wait, was I? No, I wasn't surprised because I've been saying, like, since like November, because I was hanging out with Matthias on Sunday during the Super Bowl. And we were looking at our old texts. We were talking about him calling Jalen Hurts the Jimmy Butler of the NFL, and like I didn't disagree. You know what I'm saying? Because the way he like boosts his play in the playoffs and things like that. But we were talking about that, and then I was like looking at our text to see if I could find where he said that thing about Jimmy Butler. And I saw a text all the way back from November where I'm like, Jimmy Butler's going to the Warriors market. Like, I knew this was gonna happen, but it still shocked me to see, especially because then there was a lot of heat going around, um, building up with the Jimmy Butler to Phoenix for Kevin Durant trade idea, which I would have been ecstatic for. I've been wanting Kevin Durant since you first requested that trade from Brooklyn, you know.
Yeah.
So I'm not upset with this. I'm glad we got Andrew Wiggins. That's what I wanted to get out of a trade with the Warriors in the first place. Even though he shot two of like 15 in his debut 2 nights ago, like maybe I shouldn't have wanted him, but like I like Andrew Wiggins a lot, especially what he was able to put together in that finals run a couple years ago. Unfortunately, the last couple seasons he's been dealing with a lot of stuff off the court, not just injuries, but a lot of stuff in his personal life, so it really affected the way he was playing. But I think Andrew Wiggins is a really solid defender. He's able to score. He's not gonna bring that same offensive ability as Jimmy Butler, but I think he'll be solid depth and a solid role piece to surround, Bam and Tyler Herro with. Same thing with Davion Mitchell, a point guard that plays defense, which is going to be nice. And then we have Kyle Anderson, who's one of the, to be honest, I forgot he was on the Warriors. I'm not gonna lie. But, he's going to be a solid role piece, rotation piece as well. And then we also got that first round pick. So hopefully the Warriors get into the playoffs so we can keep that first round pick, But I thought the funniest thing to happen was, someone on Twitter said, why did the Warriors just trade Andrew Wiggins for an older Andrew Wiggins? And I was like, that's low key, that's
That's
low key
real.
real. You know what I'm saying? But
But yeah.
and so far, we're 0-1 with after the post Jimmy era, and the Warriors are 2-0 in their Jimmy era. So
And
far, it's looking like the Warriors won the trade, but only time will tell.
and one of those L's is to this dude right here. Yes,
Get,
sir.
get that shit off my screen, bruh. Get,
I'm gonna
get
literally
that
hold it
off
up
my
like this.
screen.
Hey, all I know is my man's had 33
Soft.
points, 8 boards, two
Congratulations, bro.
assists.
I can't even blame Jimmy not being there because he's not on the team no more. I have no.
Exactly.
I don't know what to blame. I can't. I have no more excuses, bro. This
Exactly.
is
And
just a team.
Andrew Wiggins shooting 2 for 8. You got Bam Adebayo shooting even worse, bro. Like 6 for 17. He had 22 points, but that's still terrible.
Don't
But
worry, bro. We're gonna get Cooper Flag.
there's no way y'all get Cooper Flag.
Just take for Cooper, bro.
Dude, there's no. Aren't you like, what's it called?
We're like,
Six seed
well,
or like,
yeah, we're like 6, 7. Like we're like right in the play yet. I don't know where we're at because we're
yeah, I'm
one
not gonna
game
lie.
under 500.
Y'all might be cooked, bro.
Yeah, we're so cooked. We're so cooked. I don't know what's gonna happen, but it's okay. I have the Lakers and the Thunder to fall back on.
Oh my goodness, bro.
until the Heat are good again. Don't forget, don't trip. I'm not bandwagoning. I'm always gonna be Heat first, but it's hard to watch when they're bad. So I can go root for my favorite players, Shea and LeBron.
All I know is low key I mean not the Mavs, but the Lakers are kind of on a come up right now. They're for.
Did,
I mean, obviously they've been fourth seed for like the past week, but they
mhm.
just kind of look better in general, and
Did you
that's not
watch the
even like
Jazz
due to
game?
Luca playing. Yeah, and I even watched some games last week whenever they had just traded for Luca,
Hmm.
and Luca was sitting on the bench, and they dropped 73 points in one half.
Hmm.
And I'm like, this team is already different, and Luka ain't even hit the court yet. You feel me? So like, this might
Hmm.
be scary. I would be excited for a Lakers Rockets first matchup if it stays how it is. Honestly, hopefully that the play-in is pretty good this year, especially in the West. Because if it goes how we think it's gonna go, it's from 8 to 12, correct? Or is it from 6 to 10?
I think it's 7 to 10.
7 to 10. So
Yeah,
I have the
7, 8, 9, 10.
Timberwolves, Mavs, Kings, and Warriors. And it's looking
Hmm.
going to be weird to me seeing the Suns out of the playoffs with the team that they have. And I'm
I
not gonna
think
lie,
the
I
I
really
think the
want.
Kings are gonna fall out of the play-in though.
I don't know. I don't know. I think Zach Levine can. I think Zach Levine and DeMar DeRozan can do something with that team now that they're back
DeMar,
together.
you son of a bitch.
And oh
Why?
my
What?
god, he had a game winner the other day. I was watching it. I was like, bro, I'm gonna crash
I know
out.
you texted the chat. I was like, no way. I saw it on Twitter. I was like, oh my God.
I
Why
was
could you do
so
this?
angry.
Why could you do this December 15th, December 16th?
Bro did not care about us, bro. He literally said screw the parlay.
I'm saying, bro, we could have been up. I could have been in Philadelphia right now if that parlay hit.
He probably wouldn't be.
Bro, don't worry about it. What would I have to spend that money on? A lot of stuff. A lot of
A
stuff.
lot of stuff.
A lot of
But
stuff.
what one team that I'm excited to see, or just for the time being, is the Spurs because I
Hmm.
want to see them make the playoffs. Because them with Fox, them with Wemby, them with Stephon Castle, like that
Are they in the
is
playoff picture right now? I don't know
nah,
the seedings. Not
they're,
they're right
they're the
outside.
12th. They're the 12th seed. They're
Mm.
from from playoff contention or like at least play in contention. They're around
Hmm.
4.5 games back,
Mm.
which is gonna be hard. But I
Who's
mean, they
11?
have the Suns.
Okay. Mm.
So they have the team to do it, but like
Yeah.
obviously teams like the Trailblazers, Jazz, and Pelicans, bro, they're just cooked.
Hmm.
like the Spurs could probably make it, but I mean the Trailblazers have the same amount of wins, but they got three more losses, and they're just not that
Yeah.
good. I don't know whenever the Trailblazers will be back, bro. to be honest.
Hey, speaking of the Pelicans, we forgot to mention the Pelicans also traded away Brandon Ingram to the Raptors. So the Raptors get Brandon Ingram, and I think he just signed a 3-year extension with the Raptors as well,
Yeah, for
I think
120
yesterday.
million,
Hmm. And
and the
then the
Pelicans ended up
Pelicans received,
receiving.
yeah,
Yeah,
Bruce Brown, Kelly Olynyk, a first round pick and a second round pick, which, it's a good I think it's a pretty decent trade. They've been looking to move off of Brandon Ingram for like the last 3 seasons. Like I feel like every season I hear Brandon Ingram's in trade talks and he just never gets traded. So hopefully he's able to do something on that Raptors team, but also the Raptors, you know, the Raptors suck. The Pelicans also suck. But Bruce Brown was a player that I thought Miami was gonna get, and I was looking forward to his defense on the team. Interesting to see what he does with that Pelicans team. Bro should have just never left the Nuggets. But yeah, that's a trade that we kind of let slip under the radar. But that did happen. What do you feel about that trade? 'Cause I'm really just iffy about it. I really couldn't care less, to be honest.
I was kind of happy for him. I'm not gonna lie because I think Brandon Ingram on the Raptors just fits. I mean, the Raptors are 13 seed right now. They're not that good. But I think their wings with Scotty Barnes and with Brandon Ingram are going to be tough
Hmm.
next year. And I feel like with the league being the way it is now, obviously like wings aren't true wings like they were whenever it was LeBron coming out the league, whenever it was KD coming
Yeah.
out the league. But like these guys play like guards now.
Hmm.
So Brandon Ingram has been tough on the Pelicans as well, and he's
Hmm.
a true veteran now. So like
Yeah.
I mean he's been a true veteran, but like he can also lead this team to some quality wins. I'm not going to say like the playoffs or anything because they're cooked,
Hmm.
but especially the end of this year, they already gave him that extension. They want him there a long time. I think
Hmm.
hopefully they don't trade him after 3 years if they see some success with him.
Hmm.
But I think it's a good trade. And what about well, yeah. What about you?
Yeah, man. Like I said, I really could care less for real because, like, I'm not gonna say I don't think it's a good trade because I really don't watch either team. I know they both aren't that good. The Raptors, because I remember the trade talk at the deadline. The two players that were untouchable from the Raptors were Scotty Barnes and Grady Dick. So I don't know what's gonna happen. I don't know if they're in the middle of tanking right. They're probably right now tanking for Cooper Flag, which most teams are doing, that
Yeah.
are that low. So, I'm just curious to see what happens in the future because, like you said, they're the 13th seed. That's last in the East, isn't it? Or is there 14 seeds?
There's 15 seeds.
It's 15. Still not great, you know what I'm saying? So, obviously this season they can't do nothing, there's nothing they can do. They're gonna be bad. They're bad already. But curious to see how they build around that. Same thing with the Pelicans, especially next year, because I feel like Zion is just on the verge of getting traded. I'm surprised that he hasn't been. I thought he was gonna get traded at the deadline because a lot of teams were
Yeah.
looking at him, and there was a lot of rumors about that. But I
I
think
wish it was him to the Warriors instead.
Zion to the Warriors.
I said I wish he would have gone to the Warriors instead
Yeah,
of like Jimmy. That'd been kind
I
of
guess
fire though. Can't lie.
because they do need like a big.
Yeah.
So yeah, hey, Zion to the Lakers in the offseason.
Oh my, that'd be. I remember like that dude was getting Braun
LeBron, yeah,
comparisons out of
comparisons.
college, but like, how could you not think that's LeBron? Like,
Because
if you watch
bro was
Zion,
just big, strong, dunking on everybody. I know what you're talking
yes.
about. Yeah.
Like if you like, he was getting comparisons like that in high school. Like he was looking at everybody.
Hmm.
But
It's just
one
bro
la
can't stay healthy. That's the biggest thing, Bro needs to be able to
yeah,
stay healthy and put together a whole season. Like bro is not playing back to backs because the team doesn't want him to because they are afraid he's gonna get hurt. You know what I'm saying? That's really bad when that's the face of your franchise, you know.
yeah,
So it's unfortunate.
yeah. And one last trade we have that was the last trade before the deadline. It was the Wizards acquired Marcus Smart from the Grizzlies, and like Marcus Smart after he left the Celtics for me like fell off a cliff
Hmm.
because for me it was like I didn't think that the Grizzlies would be that good. I mean I know that they're second seed, so they're like rocking right now, but especially since Dog back. And I'm gonna say this right now. Whenever I said that Jaw was better than Ant, I was not kidding. And y'all are seeing it this year. But the whole package was Marcus Smart, Colby Jones, and Alex Len in the 2025 first round pick. And the Grizzlies got two second round picks, Marvin Bagley and Johnny Davis. And the Kings got Jake LaRavia. And with Alex Len, I'm pretty sure he ended up getting waived and then signed with the Lakers. So the Lakers finally got their big man because the trade with Mark Williams got rescinded.
Hmm.
And like we know, I don't know if we talked about this exactly last week, but the Lakers were supposed to get Mark Williams for Connect, Reddish, 2031 unprotected first round pick, and a 2030 pick swap.
Hmm.
So, which would have put the Lakers in a really good situation with the big man. Would have gave the Hornets another shooter. Would have them get a little bit. Both teams were going to get better, no matter what.
Hmm.
But obviously, Mark Williams failed his
The
physical or
physical.
something,
Hmm.
and
And the Warriors
there
are
was
trying to
like some.
the Hornets are trying to rescind it and be like appeal it. Like what's it called? He didn't he didn't fail it, but like he obviously wasn't cleared by the Lakers medical staff. So I don't know
Yeah.
because that's what I saw during the game during the Jazz. They were talking about it. So
And if you saw the look on Dalton Connect's face whenever he was back in LA, he looked like he
mhm.
did not want to be there.
Yeah, it's
Because
all
like
right,
they
bro. Just went to
just
Miami.
like like they just traded you 4 days ago. But it was definitely rough. But now they have Alex Len, so I mean Alex Len wasn't too bad whenever it was I think it was 2 years ago. Because I remember watching it. I was in College Station and it was in the playoff. It was the Lakers versus the Kings. And Alex Len did not play bad that series. And I can't lie, they went to 7 games that series too, or 6 games. Pretty sure it was 7. But that was a really good series. He didn't play that bad, so the Lakers might be in for a treat.
Yeah,
But
man. I don't really know about all the role players on that. Unless they're a Miami Heat role player, I really couldn't tell you much about them. You know.
but yeah, that's really all I have to go today.
hmm
You know,
It's gonna be
hasn't been much since the Super Bowl and anything. I mean, the trade deadline just ended, so that's
it's
really
gonna get
the main
real
things we have
quiet
for y'all today.
from especially the NFL because it's going into before the offseason. So really, the only other thing is Kellen Moore got hired to be the head coach of the Saints. We can talk about
Yeah,
that briefly, but it's the Saints. That's not a good team to go to. They're in cap hell. Your quarterback is Derek Carr, and that roster is just old. So he has a lot on his hands. But thank you, Kellen Moore, for what you brought to Philadelphia. So I just want to say that. But yeah, All-Star weekend's coming up too. So we really won't have much to talk about in basketball either.
yeah.
So thank you guys for listening.
All right, y'all take it easy.